Now that we have our 5 puzzle pieces made, we're going to assemble the 5 puzzle pieces into our block puzzle. Now, I have 2 pieces made, and I'm going to demo this with just 2 pieces. However, keep in mind, you have 5 pieces, so you will continue to do what I'm doing just with all 5 of your puzzle pieces. So, we're going to make a new standard IAM, a standard assembly file, but instead of bringing in the individual blocks, we're going to bring in the 5 sub-assemblies, the 5 pieces. So when I come over here to place, you'll notice that it gives me the option of bringing in my block part or the sub-assemblies that I've created. Now, I have 2 sub-assemblies. You have 5. We're going to demonstrate this with just 2 pieces, and then you're going to continue to bring all 5 of yours in. So we'll start off by bringing in assembly 1. You should recognize that. That's the part that I first made. And it comes in, and just like with the individual blocks, it gives me the option of putting more than 1. I don't need more than 1, so I'm going to just say OK. Right-click OK. So here's my first assembly part. You'll notice that it's grounded on the browser bar. Assembly 1, it's grounded because the first part you bring in is always grounded in an assembly. Now, I'm going to bring in a second part, and that's going to be my second assembly. Place, and I'm going to select assembly 2. And you'll see here, this is the piece that it's going to fit into. I click it, right-click, OK. Now I have 2 individual sub-assemblies. I have this sub-assembly 1 and assembly 2. Now before I assemble my puzzle, you'll have 3 more. You'll bring 1 of each one of your puzzle pieces in. Now before I assemble it, I'm going to color it to a color that I want. So I do that by selecting the sub-assembly and then coming up to where it says appearance. And I'm going to change the color in this one to blue. And I'm going to change the color of this one to, let's say, red. Why not? So come down, I'll try to find red. Let's see here. Do we have red? Oh, pink. I like pink. Let's make it pink. What's wrong with pink? All right, so we have 2 parts now, a blue one and a pink one. Now, because of the way they're orientated, it might be difficult to put them together the way I want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this component so that it is orientated in the proper direction. To do that, I'm going to come up here to the ribbon, where it's the position ribbon, where it says rotate. And I'm going to select it, and you'll notice that it selected this subassembly. I treat this just like the rotate tool over here, but this is going to be a part rotate. Right click OK. And you can see there that it rotated it and put it into the position that now I can see clearly, oh, this piece fits into here. Now, we're going to use the constraints the same way we put together the individual pieces, but now we're going to select the faces that are actually going to be touching in the puzzle. So I'll come up to constraint, and now it does matter which face I select. So I want to select the inside face here, and we think which face on this puzzle piece is going to be touching. Well, I'll rotate around, and it's obvious that it's going to be this face right here. And you can see how it moved. Now this piece, number 2, moved into piece 1 because 1 is grounded, remember? But I'm going to apply that. And now you can see that I've got that face lined up. Those 2 faces are mated together, but they're not straight. Well, that's where the flush constraint comes in. So we're going to constrain, and we're going to use the flush constraint, and we're going to flush this face with this face. You can see it lines it up. Apply it, and now what am I going to do here? Oh, that's right, I'm going to flush it. This face and this face, apply it, and you can see that now I've got 2 of the 5 puzzle pieces together. Now I want to remind you that you are not allowed to use these pieces. You cannot have these pieces in your assembly. Actually, if you made this one already, you shouldn't be here unless you already have your puzzle pieces made. This one you can't make because I use it as an example. This one you could have made this. You could have used this one, so we'll let you use this shape because it's the simplest one that actually gives you an interlocking situation. This is interlocking, where one piece of one puzzle, one piece of the piece goes into a cavity of the other piece. Okay, I want you to continue putting your puzzle pieces together using mate constraints and flush constraints until the entire block is together.